This guy said that it's impossible for me to find this basketball game from The Wire, and even went as far to say they think I'm dodging their comments. Well, here we go. From first glance, I'm not familiar with the uniforms, and we don't really get any good looks at a logo except for this shot right here when we do get to see the front of the jersey, but it's pretty blurry. But I'll come back to that. Let's try and narrow down a league. It can't be the NBA because I would definitely know the teams, but it also probably won't be college basketball because, as we can see right here, the key doesn't match an NCAA court. So with that, we're probably dealing with a lower level professional league. So now back to the jersey, and I know it's hard to make out, but after staring at this long enough, I was able to finally make out the word, or at least the shape of the word, and that word was Pittsburgh. So did Pittsburgh have a professional basketball team any time before this episode of The Wire came out, which was in 2002? Well, after searching through the city of Pittsburgh's basketball history, which is not exactly rich, I finally found a team that matched, but it was a team that only lasted for 7 months, and that team was the Pittsburgh Piranhas, who played in the Continental Basketball League, or the CBA, during the 1994-95 season. Now we need to figure out what game this is, and the best way to do that is to figure out who this other team is, but we can't see any logos. We can really only see this guy's back, but we can see the stripes on his shorts. So I tried to find pictures of all the teams in the league at the time, which was difficult in itself, but after I did, there was just one team who had shorts like that, and it was the Hartford Hellcats. And thanks to an eBay listing, I was able to find this 1994-95 pocket schedule for the Piranhas, so now we know that Hartford and Pittsburgh only had 6 games scheduled against each other. But from looking through newspapers, I know that these are the Piranhas road uniforms, so this game happened at the Hartford Civic Center, which brings us down to just 3 games, but it's actually only 2 games because the Hartford franchise folded halfway through the season, so they never got to play this game. But how can I distinguish between these 2 games with so little to go on? Well, it all came down to this guy wearing number 10, who I identified as James Blackwell. See, he played in the season opener for the Piranhas, but when the second game in Hartford came around, he had just been called up to the NBA's Charlotte Hornets and didn't play in that game, meaning that the basketball game in The Wire was this CBA game on November 19th, 1994 between the Pittsburgh Piranhas and the Hartford Hellcats that saw the Piranhas win by a score of 126 to 114.